day, SPCCians. This is Jaren Rosales from College of Information Technology of System Plus Computer College. So today, I will be discussing about the continuity plan that we will be providing for you. So here, you will know what will happen for the whole school year. Are you ready? Now, I think let's start. Here in SPCC, we will make sure that we will be providing liberal, transformative, quality education in order for the holistic development of the students. So basically, we will be providing a student-centered learning. Meaning to say, we are going to train the students in order to survive in a real-life setting despite the pandemic that we are facing today. But the question is, how are we going to do it? We will be using the flexible learning method since face-to-face is not yet possible today because of the pandemic that we are facing. Flexible learning method is a method wherein we are going to make sure that the learning experience of the students is flexible in terms of their time, their pace, their locations, and even the tools that they are using. But the question is, how? We will be using the distance learning or the online learning. It is a process of creating and providing access of information when the teachers and the learners are separated by both time and location. We will be using two procedures of learning. The first one is the synchronous, and then the second one is the asynchronous. In synchronous, there will be an interaction of teacher and the students at the same time using a technology or the laptop and the computer or even the phones that we will be requiring you to have. And then the other one is asynchronous. It is a type of learning wherein the student can access to them anytime and anywhere. Most of us call it modular, meaning to say these are the activities, the lessons, the quizzes, or even the exams that teachers will be providing for the students, wherein they can access them depending on their availability. CIT will be using Google Meet for the synchronous learning, and for the asynchronous, we will be using Edmodo. If you haven't heard Google Meet or Edmodo, don't worry, because some of the teachers are going to discuss it, so just wait for it. Since in every subject, we have 3 hours. So here, synchronous, we will be using the 1.5 hours, and for the asynchronous, we will be using 1.5 hours. So meaning to say, it depends on the students if they want to attend the synchronous learning. Because of course, not everyone can access to the internet. Because later on, I will discuss that we have different types of the students, okay? So for the asynchronous, we will be using 1.5 hours of the class. So there, the students should access to the questions, to the activities and quizzes that the teacher will ask them to do. So since this is a very flexible learning, it depends on their availability on when and where they are going to answer them. But make sure that you are going to comply with those activities on the said deadline. Because if the students fail to submit those quizzes and activities, automatically he will get or she will get a 0 points for that. Now let's talk about the 3 types of the students. First one is the student who has a full access to the internet. So basically, they can attend the synchronous learning anytime and anywhere they want. And then the second one is the student which has a limited connection. Meaning to say, they're only depending on the data. So they're just buying some load in order to access the internet. So in that case, it depends on them if they want to attend the synchronous learning. Okay? Lastly, the students which has no access to the internet. Because of the pandemic that we're facing today, we understand that they cannot have a full access to the internet. So in that case, we will be allowing the parents to come here in school in order to get the lessons, the materials, the activities, and the exams that the students should answer. But we need to have a proper guidelines. Of course, we'll be following the guidelines of IATF in order for the social distancing rules. Now let's talk about the tools that the students will be using in their learning. Here in CIT, we are not requiring the students to buy their laptop or even the desktop. Okay? So we're not requiring that. Students can access to their learning with the use of their mobile phones or the smartphones. They can use it to download the modules, the videos, the materials that is needed for the asynchronous. And also, they can use that for attending the synchronous learning. Here in CIT, we will be providing a solid base knowledge and real-world application. So don't worry about your children because here, number one priority is them.